Hello, I'm just getting started. I am about to get started on Facebook as well. And so just give me a second. And thanks for tuning in once again. Let me still see. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm waiting for people to get online in tune. I am already in tune on YouTube. Welcome, Michael. I'm just waiting to get a little bit more people online. If you haven't joined my class before, my name is Professor Owens. I'm Shamada Owens out of St. Louis. And I'm slightly going to be off topic today. I normally talk about Black women in history, but today I'm going to be talking about Black women in the police and how to avoid the police and how your child should avoid the police. So welcome. I see more people tuning in. I'm sorry I'm a little bit behind, but I had to go to the Juneteenth festival. So you can join me on Dr. Shabazz, Malik Zulu Shabazz page, Shabazz University online, and also on YouTube, Shabazz University online as well. So we up and running. Thank you guys for tuning in on this beautiful Saturday. Once again, I am from New York, from St. Louis. Hello, once again, I am Shamada Owens, Professor Shamada Owens from St. Louis. I normally do Black women in history. But today I am going to talk about Black women in the police. And you can join me right now on YouTube as well as Facebook online. So I'm trying to wait till we get to at least to 10. So we can get started. And it's going to be an interesting topic today. And like I said, I really appreciate everyone for joining in. Hello, everyone. So today my topic is Black women and the police. So I did a little research to get prepared for today. And if you can see my shirt, normally I'm dressed up. It says Black Greeks for Black Lives. And I got this shirt at the Juneteenth celebration. And if you don't know what Juneteenth was, it was June the 19th. It is when the last slave group in Texas heard that they were free almost 2 years later after the Emancipation Proclamation. A lot of us, like I said, know about 4th of July, Independence Day, but we were still in bondage. So once again, greetings from St. Louis, Missouri. And my topic, if you just tuned in, is Black women police. So I did a research, and it says things you should avoid doing while you're Black. Now I'm saying, what? You should avoid running. And I'll get more in tune to this, and I'll mention everybody death that faced this. So let's say while you're Black, you should avoid running from the police. What if you're on a jog, a casual jog? You should avoid walking. They say you should avoid walking if you're Black. Driving. We all heard the term driving while Black. They say you should avoid turning your back on the police. Facing the police? Come on now. You have to look them in the eye. It's not Jim Crow. When somebody talks to me, I'm looking you dead in the eye. Like what's that saying from civil rights? I am a man. I am a woman. A proud Black woman. They say you should also avoid not complying with police orders. Complying with police orders. Breathing. Selling lemonade. Somebody actually called the police on the little brown girl selling lemonade in front of her house. Somebody also called the police on a little brown girl from selling water. You should also avoid barbecuing. So with all that, running, walking, driving, turning your back, facing the police, what can you do while Black? You basically can't do anything while you're Black. If the police are going to harass you, they're going to harass you. They're going to pick you out. You have some of those people that wear the police uniform because they're a Klansman. American KKK, and that's what we're talking about. Today, I'm going to talk to you about women and how you should avoid the police and how your kids should avoid the police. And then all those things that I mentioned, I'm going to go in depth about people that were actually killed while walking, while driving, while taking a wrong turn. And I'm going to start the women. So the first thing, ladies, we all know while growing up, we have an attraction. Majority of women, I'm going to say that, to thuggish guys, to rough around the edge men. And I tell my students, this is the thought. If you cannot see yourself marrying that guy, don't give him your virtue. Don't give him your pot of gold. And we all know pot of gold I mean. And men is vice versa. If you can't see that woman, you're marrying her, or you can't see her having to raise your child, and her being productive in the future, or him being productive in the future, then try to avoid that or take precautions to not have a child by this person. Because if you see somebody in high school skipping class, skipping schools, chances are your baby mom or your baby father is going to have a hard time getting a job after high school or even graduating. And that's going to create problems within the future for you. And the parents are a child's first teacher. And by that, I mean, kids ask a lot of questions. And sometimes we're so quick to like, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. No. But, you know what I'm saying? Don't baby talk to kids. So talk to your child in complete sentences. So that way, when they start to speak, they can articulate their actions and what they really want without crying. Read to your child from the time your child is in your stomach. If it's only for 10 to 15 minutes a night, read to your child. Reading is very fundamental. As American blacks and blacks all over the country, but just in America, we start out way lower than our white counterparts, especially 50% less than our Chinese counterparts, because we don't read to our kids. And it's not because all of us don't know how to read, or it's just because most people that are raising kids, black women, they're single. They have to work and provide. But you have to make that time for somebody else or yourself to reach that child. You have to take a trip to the store, can be a learning experience. You know, what shape is that? What color is that? You know, what do you see? You can play I Spy. So reading is the first step for your child to be able to avoid the police when they get older. Like we know, research have shown that they're building jails by the time they're in third grade. It's called prison pipeline. So school to prison pipeline. So if your child can't read, they making them a statistic already. They're like, oh, okay, they're not gonna be able to read. Number one, they're gonna be able to find a job or fill out this application. So they're saying we're gonna build a prison because they're not gonna be able to find a job, so they're gonna lead to crime. And so reading is fundamental. You know, if your child is lacking behind, get tutoring, get that child into a program. After school, offer reading programs for teenagers. The Dollar Tree for little kids this summer, they have dollar books for learning. ABCs, 1, 2, 3, timetables, sight words, clocks. Most kids cannot read a manual clock, a digital clock. They just look at their digital, they're looking at their phone. So that's it. And by reading, I also mean language. And I see somebody say English is not our native language. It is not our native language. And Americans, especially blacks, we have one language. I firmly believe that when you have a child, you should start teaching your child other language, whether it's Swahili, Spanish, French, or whatever. You should be well versed. So that's the number one thing to avoid the police, how you should, especially male kids. Teach your child how to read. Read to your child. Make up stories if you can. You can't afford books, you can go to the Goodwill. It's all kind of programs to give your child free books. So that's the number one way to avoid the police. Second way to women avoid the police and their kids to avoid the police is after school programs. Some after school programs are absolutely free. Some of them cost $25 or $50 for after school care, extended care. But in most cities and public school, they offer free after school programs for kids, whether it's English, reading, enrichment. Get those students involved in after school programs. Even in high school, sports, band, drama, debate club, history program, Spanish club, sports. It doesn't matter what it is, but if you're at work and your child's at school, at least you know your kid is not getting into trouble if they was at home playing a video game, or you thinking they're at home and they're actually somewhere else. So those after school programs are really important. And that goes for like different clubs, like the YMCA, different clubs throughout the metropolitan area of your suburbs, whatever that is. If you don't see a club there for your neighborhood, your town, your city, you be the one to create that program and to provide enrichment field trips, reading, writing. Cursive writing is very important. Most of our kids don't know cursive. They took cursive and grammars and phonics out of schools, and so that's hurting a lot of our kids in these different programs. Sports is the third topic. So how should women and their kids avoid the program when they grow up? Sports. Get your children involved in sports. Sports keep their mind off getting in trouble, keeps them out the streets. When you have practice after school, 9 times out of 10, a kid is too tired when they leave school and they have practice to get into anything else. So you know where your child is at this time. So sports, it don't even have to be like team sports. It could be a club sport. Get your child involved in sports because your coach would be your second parent. A coach is a mentor. It's a coach. It's a life coach, a skills coach, whatever it is. Sports can help your child be more productive in life. That relationship with the coach is very important. If you had a communication with that coach, involved in it. And I know in St. Louis, sports start at the age of 3. Track, basketball, volleyball, soccer, rugby, indoor field soccer. Do sports, baseball, softball, anything, even cheerleading, dance team, ballet, gymnastics, anything of that nature that interests your child to keep them out the street. You can do that. Music. I know we all like to listen to music. I'm not saying don't listen to music, but be mindful of the music that you listen to when your child is under the age. And I just say under the age of 8. Be more mindful of the cuss words, the song that you listen to in the car, the songs that you sing, because your kid is picking up on that. Kids learn words from they hear all the time, and that's why you see a lot of kids that cuss. And parents are quick to say, "I don't know where they got that from," and then you hear them and they're cussing. Every sentence is a cuss word. So be more mindful of the music you listen to around your child and the music your child is listening to. You on TVs, it has a parental settings, so make sure you set that example, or you can set control. You can put a PIN number in. Mentors. If you have to work, and if you are a single female, and your child is a teenage male, and you don't have a brother, an uncle, or somebody to be that male role model, big brothers, big sisters, there's other programs. Find someone in the community that can mentor your son. Because there's some things that we as women just can't teach the male. And it's hard to be able to have a male and to teach them things. Some things they just feel more comfortable with sharing with a male. And that's just going to be honest, something that a female feels comfortable sharing with a male. Like I know myself, that the relationship I had with my father, I told my father everything, and I wasn't as comfortable telling my mom because for some reason, females clash. Like when the child normally gets to be a teenager, it's something about her and her mom that they go cahoots with, and she just still needs her father figure to tell her she's beautiful. So when she hears from another male, they can't turn, and she heard that before. You're smart. You know, you look nice in that. So when the father tells his daughter that, that's her first love. A father is a daughter's first love and a son's first hero. So be mindful. And the woman, the mom, you're her first nurse, teacher, her role model. And talk about TV. So I'm talking about topics for women to avoid the police and for their child to be able to avoid the police when they get older. So these are the topics that I'm going to go into, different deaths, female that have been killed by the police officers and vice versa. And I'm going to add some men in there as well. TV shows, we used to be able to have good TV shows, Family Matters, Fresh Prince, The Cosby Show, Different World, all those good TV shows I just named. We do not have those TV shows anymore that you can just sit down with your family and watch those shows. And I'm guilty of watching Love and Hip Hop because I'm a teacher. Sometimes you need that outlet, but be mindful what these teenager men and females see, especially these females see. We don't want them seeing dressing up, sleeping from male to male, cheating on your husband, thinking that being ratchet is the way to go, gold digger and videos. So be mindful of the things that you sit and watch with your children or your child. Even if you're around them, record it until it can go off. Be more mindful about them watching like shows like Power Rangers because there's a lot of violence in there if they're under a certain age. I know we think it's for a cartoon. Every cartoon is not kid appropriate, so be mindful of that. And I personally hate SpongeBob. I feel like parents that let kids watch SpongeBob when they're under the age of 9 or 10, it's dumbing down a kid. It's like teaching them wrong behavior. I like Nickelodeon Junior, different things to teach them. Even Dora the Explorer, like put it on something like Peppa the Pig, Paw Patrol, or something that we know that it's kids and age appropriate. Because some of these TV things that we watch, we as adults be like, whoa, Black Ink, Love and Hip Hop, basketball. Like we see so much violence and we see so much on TV that it's just like women against women, and women are always fighting. Like, when do Black women ever get along on these TV shows? When do we see a show that like at least one person is not gay? I'm sorry if you are. I'm not trying to offend you, but it's out there and it's our reality. When do we see one show without interracial dating? I know it's the world we live in, but they're trying to force their views on other people. Is all that I'm saying. So be mindful of the TV show or the television that you allow your child to watch. And that's all I'm saying, because it's basically saying that it's sending the wrong idea about Black Americans. So when you white and you've never been around Black people before, all you have to go on is what you see on TV. Like, oh, wow. And we're guilty. We always like to see that good old argument, that good old drink thrown in the face or something like that. Not everyone, but the majority of us do. The next thing I'm talking about, support. Support your child. Support is vital. Support them in plays, support them in school, support them in sports, support them whatever they choose to do. You support your child. They support, pop up at the school, email a child's teacher. You can call, text message your child teacher. As simple as that. If a child feels they're supported, then that's a lot. So with that, yes, all support, but it's basketball. I'm a coach, and sometimes I don't get to see the child parent at all the whole season. And as a teacher, I can rarely get people to show up at parent teacher conference. But then if we offer like free Thanksgiving baskets, if we have a basketball game with the boys versus the girls, or Jordans come out, or anything else, concerts, the parents are all for it. But like I said, support is very vital. When a child knows that they have their parent support and the teacher knows, then it's a different ball game. Role models. And I spoke on that earlier. Like, the way you dress as a woman, your child is mimicking it. The way your relationships, your child mimics what she likes. Her father, you're her example, you're her role model. Women often date men like their father, if that makes any sense. Or they try to compensate for not having a father. And so that's very important on being a role model and telling these kids that these video vixens, the people they see on TV, are not their role models. You're their role models. Your aunts, their uncles, their grandmas, people in their life are role models. If you can't be their role model, and if we have an old saying, do as I say, not as I do. That's not how it works. We're observers. Like a little kid, you naturally observe something and you learn how to climb over the gate. You learn how to turn on stuff or turn off stuff because you watch your parents. And these kids are savvy, especially technology. Jail. Men, women. Jail hurts your family. Women, you had to go away to jail if you take a charge for a guy, if you doing illegal things. Just know it's a lot of kids out here with a female parent in jail or a male parent in jail. It takes you away from the family, and your kid is growing up without you. And when you really get out, your kid don't respect you anymore. It takes a long time for that kid to invest trust in you because you left them, and that's how they feel. Sometimes it may not even be your fault, but in their mind, because you got to realize a kid mind doesn't mature and they don't have logic thinking until like 18 and sometimes 20, and they're thinking that you left them. So, and sometimes the pattern repeats itself. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That is true. Sometimes that actually happens. Education is important. A lot of times we can't force education on the kid. You can't force your child salute. You cannot force your child to attend a higher ed. Sometimes getting them job training helps. Nursing, automobiles, I said the CNA, but anything like that, it helps. Like a mortician, just talk to your child. School isn't for everyone, but you can still learn. Long as you reading up on your skill, long as you doing Google, because don't send your child to school and waste your money if they're not ready for school, and get loans and get them in debt is what I'm saying. Talk to your child, figure out what's the next step, what's after high school. Sometimes it's not going to be college because we have a lot of billionaires and millionaires who didn't go to college who have excellent ideas. Be nosy. It's okay to be nosy. Snoop in your child room. You pay the bills there. Your child don't pay the bills. We also have this time like, oh, they need their privacy. Yes, a child does need their privacy, but when they get older, it's okay to snoop in their room. It's okay to look for stuff to see if you find it, but you have to have that trust built up and that mutual respect, for that child and for them to be open and honest to tell you something. So it's okay to be nosy. That helps keep your child out of jail. So you're like, oh my God, I didn't know. So when you clean and looking in there, they leave out, just look for different signs. I'm not saying, you're going to always find some, but it's okay as sometimes as a parent to be nosy to have this conversation when your kid gets from school. How was school? You know what I'm saying? Are you dating anybody? Because we can say all day that our kid can't date today 16 or 18, but sometimes you don't know what they do when they're out of your view because that's character. What are you doing when nobody is looking? So we had to teach our child character skills. We had to teach them conflict resolution. And so that's part of education. How do you deal with different situations besides fighting? We're going to put this fist. And nowadays, they don't fight. They shoot. And so conflict resolution skills is very important. I hear you saying, but I understand. I see why you would feel that way. But I felt like you said this, and it hurt my feelings because a lot of times we're not taught to express our feelings. And that gets us in a lot of trouble. And that gets your child a record. That gets you a record. And once your child get a record, sometimes they under 17, they close their record, but that's not true. Sometimes you can open that record. So communication, education about character building, conflict resolution is important. Even education about birth control. Even if you put your kid on birth control, it's not giving permission to have sex because they're telling you they want to do it. They're going to do it. So we had to sit there and listen and open our minds up because a lot of times we don't want to hear it. We don't hear it. It's an elephant in the room. So be mindful. Pay attention to your child, what's coming out their mouth, their action, their body language. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. And I'm talking about be nosy as to sometimes put an app on your phone or your child's phone to know a GPS device, know where they're at. So when they get older, 16, 17, even 14, that they're at, that they say they're at home or they're really at home, you don't have to tell them. It's secret apps you can download to put on your child's phone, computers or whatever to see what they're surfing the web on, what they're doing on their cell phone, where they're at. So that's what I'm saying. Be nosy. It's okay to be your child friend, but you're not their best friend. You're not their buddy. You have to separate being their friend from their parent to your child to successfully avoid the police. And that's what I'm saying. You have to be able to avoid this police and these different things. Like I said, phone trackers help. We have so much devices now that you put in a little smartwatch, their cell phone, know your family at. You can ping it. Ask for help. If you're struggling financially, if your child is struggling mentally, if your child needs to speak to somebody about what happened, if they're dealing with suicide, don't say that you're talking crazy. Oh no. Just give me a second. I don't know what happened. Oh my God.